Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. Today is day 15, I think, of Daily December. I'm pre-recording so much now that I'm losing track of what day it is. I'm pretty sure it's the 15th. Either way, today we're going to be making a tier list of every single MCC game. I will also be looking at the previous ones. Also, here's proof that I'm pre-recording. Look, they're all scheduled. Yeah. This is going to be a tier list of all the games. This is going to be a bit of a weird tier list because for a portion of the games I have experience as a now more than a year ago tester. It's been so long now. I have a bit of experience in some of the games, and I have some opinions about certain games. But also, as a viewer, I have grown to dislike and like certain games, which is, pretty interesting, I'd say. So this is going to be probably one of the weirdest opinions, possibly, because it's mixed with, do I like playing this, or do I like watching this? Do I dislike playing this? Do I dislike watching this? Maybe I would like playing this. We'll find out. So yeah. Also, I am avoiding the ads by zooming in. That's why it's zoomed in so much. I'm trying to not get doxxed by this website. I do not want that to happen. Okay. I will just stick to what it has here. S, A, B, C, D. We're going to use icons. I'll try to say what each icon means in case some of you don't know. Yeah. I don't think a single MCC game will reach the D tier, but we'll see. Alright, first up, Ace Race. It's this one. I'm not putting it in B yet, just to show what I'm talking about. Ace Race, I think, is the best racing game that has been in any Minecraft event so far. I think it's good. I think the most recent map is a little on the weak side. I don't think it's that great. Turtle Run was solid. I'm still a Python script fan. That is my favorite one. Then I'd say Space Race was pretty fun. I like Clouds. It's more a nostalgia thing though. Like it's the Ace Race map really. I'd say old Ace Race was either low S tier, high A tier. I think current Ace Race is still pretty good. I hope they try a bit more with it, try to implement some different movement mechanics, maybe an elytra section, maybe an ice boating section. I pray. I was hoping that there was going to be an ice boating section on the current map or the most recent one, the Yeti Sled Go, that one, but there wasn't, which makes sense. So yeah, for now, it's an A tier. It's a good game. It is one of the staple games for MCC, and I think it is here to stay. Next up, BattleBox. BattleBox used to be one of my favorite games because I was really good at it. From a viewer perspective, it's, I don't know, maybe it's because I've played it. It's kind of hard to watch sometimes because very frequently I just look at someone make a play and I'm like, you should have done that differently. You could have done that and it would have gone way better. But maybe it's just because I'm too critical about certain people's performance. Either way, I think BattleBox is good. It kind of created a new, not kind of, it just straight up created a new type of game for Minecraft. Like Block Wars obviously has Extraction, which is inspired by BattleBox. So yeah, I think it's good. I think the fact that it gets like a new map every single time is helping with keeping it interesting. So I will also put this in A tier. I'm gonna put it below Ace Race because I think looking at the overall MCC roster, other PvP games are a little better. Not all of them. I think SG is worse, but we'll get to that. So yeah. Next up, the most controversial one, Build Mart. I will probably make an entirely separate video on this, but I think it's a pretty popular opinion to say that Build Mart is one of, if not the worst game in MCC. And do I agree? Uh, do I agree? I'm looking at the other games. Maybe. Kinda. I think Build Mart is okay. It is not appealing to me as a mechanical player, but I can see the appeal to players who are less mechanically skilled, as this is a very different type of skill in MCC. So, this is the Build Mart icon, by the way. I will put it in C tier, for the sole reason that I don't think it's bad necessarily. Compared to the other MCC games, I think it is bad. But I don't think in general it is bad. Like if Build Mart was part of Block Wars, for example, and it was like an original concept, I think it would be perceived better. But in the atmosphere of MCC, it is probably the weakest link. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just I'll actually just make a video on what I think Build Mart needs and why I think it's a problem. But for now, C tier. Next up, Grid Runners. Actually, wait. Let me make a tier. Current discussion game. Okay, and then make it like blue. Cool. Okay, Grid Runners. Grid Runners, fantastic team game. However, it does suffer the one thing that every puzzle game suffers from, which is that it is very painful to watch sometimes. Which I think it adds to the entertainment value of the game, but I don't know. I think it's okay. I think for a team game, it's a good concept. Definitely, like challenge room, completing challenge room, go to the next one, do it quickly, finish. The scoring is cool. I like the scoring. But yeah, I'd say I'd put it in like a B. Could maybe be an A, but I think that the games in the A tier are just a little bit better. So yeah. Next up, Hole in the Wall. Now, Hole in the Wall used to be one of my favorite games when I was a tester. Probably my favorite game, actually, when I was a tester. No, actually, Rocket Spleef was my favorite game. Hole in the Wall, second favorite game. And for good reason. It is a very cool concept, very replayable. There's a certain skill to it, like just being good at... Like, you can't really practice for Hole in the Wall, in my opinion, besides playing more Hole in the Wall, which I think is good, because it creates a layer of, a layer of difficulty even for good players, or like mechanically skilled players. However, from a viewer perspective, I'd say Hole in the Wall could be a little boring. I personally don't mind, because it's cool seeing people do well in Hole in the Wall. Like looking at the chat and seeing who dies, it's like, oh, Sapnap died like 30, or like in the first 5 Sapnap was out, but like Connery's pants is bad is until like the last 10. Like that is super cool to me. So I would put Hole in the Wall probably. See, I want to put it at S, but I don't know if it actually is an S. I'd say A tier. I'd probably put it above Ace Race, in my opinion. Because I think the new floors in Hole in the Wall make add a bit more interesting layers to it. However, I do think for MCC it could be a bit too simple. Because the difficulty in Hole in the Wall is a little weird. Because in Hole in the Wall, you'll just have easy walls, like 15 easy walls, and then one wall that just knocks everyone out, which is a little silly. Would be great for Block Wars, though. If MCC ever wants to get rid of Hole in the Wall, we will gladly take it. So yeah, it's going to be top of A tier for now. I can see some people probably be like, how would you put Hole in the Wall above Ace Race? Ace Race is fantastic. I think it's cool. I think modern Ace Race is a little, I like old Ace Race more. I completely understand why they did the new Ace Race. I just think 4 laps is very long. It just feels very long. Even though it probably is about as long as it was before, it just feels way longer. So yeah. Here's the first game that I've actually never played before. Meltdown, I think. Is that Meltdown? Yeah, that is Meltdown. Okay. Meltdown. Yeah. Freeze tag. That's what it is. I know how it was created, or at least I've been told who was involved, and that's awesome. Meltdown is very entertaining to watch. I imagine it is probably pretty fun to play, but also very terrifying. I don't really know what I think about Meltdown. I think it is a very strong contender for potential S tier. However, the fact that it hasn't really received many content updates is kind of holding it back a little bit. I think it's getting like I think it's similar to SG where like it can get away with not too many changes because it is so situational. Like anything can happen in any situation. There in Meltdown specifically, lower skilled players have the potential to pop off. It is a game where mechanically skilled Minecraft players don't necessarily have an advantage, whereas, for example, Ludwig did really well, and the Cyan team in Underdogs is phenomenal, which all comes down to just the gamer gene, you know? Which I think is really cool, because I'm a big fan of variety players in MCC. So, you know, right now, and to anyone who's played Meltdown, this might be different. I'm going to put it at S tier. It's really fun to watch, and it seems fun to play to me. I imagine if I were to ever get to play it, my opinion would change, because after talking to Shane, or Fiberthin, he seemed to have his opinion change on Meltdown after having played it. So yeah, for now, for my perspective, Meltdown is S tier. But we will see if one day I get to play, if that will change. Alright, next up, Parkour Tag. I think that is. Yeah, because this is Parkour Warrior, this is Parkour Tag. Okay. Yeah, Parkour Tag. I mean, it's cool. I was pretty good at it. Because the way I got good at it was Hypixel housing. It's just very quick parkour. Like, Parkour Tag doesn't have, like, any, like, insane jumps, right? There's hard jumps sometimes, but that's not the point of the game. It's about speed. It's not about, like, difficulty. I don't know. I think Parkour Tag's cool. It getting, like, updates every now and then is nice. I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. I don't know. It just feels like it's also a weak link in MCC. I don't really know why. I know that I had a stronger opinion on Parkour Tag before. It just doesn't feel like it's really a standout game. It kind of feels like that game that you could easily forget about. I don't know. I'll put it at B tier below Grid Runners. Also for the sake of variety in the event. Just because I think like Parkour Tag, if you have Parkour Warrior, you have Ace Race, you have other movement games like To Get to the Side or Rocket Spleef or Hole in the Wall, I guess. Having Parkour Tag just seems a little redundant in comparison. But that might be just my opinion. So for now, bottom of B tier. Next up, Parkour Warrior. Now the new Parkour Warrior looks super cool. I would love to play that. However, I have not played it before. I've played old Parkour Warrior, which I thought was whatever. It was a bit mid. Old Parkour Warrior would probably go like between B and C somewhere, either bottom of B or top of C. But new Parkour Warrior looks a lot better. It looks really, really fun. However, that might be recency bias, so I'm not sure where I'm gonna place this, just because I don't want it to be S tier for the sake of it being new. I'm trying to think, would I like Parkour Warrior more than Hole in the Wall? I do like Parkour, but I also really like Hole in the Wall. I might bump Hole in the Wall up to S, because I really like Hole in the Wall. Ah, this is hard. I'm not sure. Okay, well, I'd probably like Battle Box less than Parkour Tag. Or Parkour Warrior, sorry. Do I though? I might actually, I'm not gonna make any changes yet. I'll do it at the end. So for now, Parkour Warrior is gonna go. Ooh, I'm gonna put it here. My instincts, my gut reaction, my gut feeling is putting it there. So for now, it's there. Next up, Rocket Spleef Rush. Now we can do this very quickly, or we can take it slow. I love Rocket Spleef. That was my favorite game. Reason why? It's different. It's like a very it's a niche skill, which is also the reason why I really like ice boating, because you have to be good at elytras, but you also have to be good at elytra hopping, but you also have to be good at TNT launching, and that all combined is very niche. So I'm gonna make this quick and easy. Rocket Spleef is top of S tier for now. I love it. I like watching it. It's really fun to watch. I loved playing it. Because I've never played Rocket Spleef Rush. To clarify, I have played old Rocket Spleef, and that was really, really fun. So for now, top of S tier. That is where I place it. Next up, Sands of Time. I'm also trying to move a little bit quicker because I'm already at 17 minutes and I haven't even done the first part of the tier list. Sands of Time. Now, I know this is probably the favorite game for most people. I think it's okay. I think it's really fun to play, but I think it's really boring to watch. Okay, not really. It's a little mid to watch. It's like if you like care, I can see it being fun to watch, but generally I'm just like not paying attention in SOT unless I like specifically care about a certain team getting into Dodgebolt. Or when Shane was in, that was kind of entertaining because I would laugh at him for being stupid. I'm just kidding. I would just be like critical. I'd be like, "You missed a coin there. What are you doing?" Yeah, I think SOT kind of can't go any lower than A. Because I like putting it there would be just not realistic. I don't know. SOT is really fun to play, but it's so bad to watch. Would I like... Okay, I think I would like Hole in the Wall more than SOT. Do I like it more than Parkour Warrior? Honestly, probably yeah. So I'm going to put it here for now. That's where I put SOT. Next up, Sky Battle. Also a game that people consider to be the best in MCC, which I can see why. It's fair. Because Sky Battle is very good. However, funnily enough, I hate this game in the event because I suck at it. I am so bad at Sky Battle. It might be different now because of MCCI. Like I got a lot better at like speed bridging and PvP a little bit. Actually, not that. I don't know if I got better necessarily. I feel like Sky Battle would stress me out a little bit, just because it is so terrifying. Especially playing against like fruit would be horrifying. I would actually crap my pants. I would actually, yeah, that would be horrifying. However, I also think similarly to Sands of Time, Sky Battle cannot be lower than A tier, because this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. It is definitely better than Battle Box. It is probably better than Ace Race. Definitely better than Parkour Warrior. Probably better than SOT. And realistically, it is better than... I have to put it there. Bottom of S tier is where it goes. It is just really good. Actually, is it better than Meltdown? It might be. It kind of just is. I think it's better than Meltdown as well. I really like Meltdown, but I also think Sky Battle is phenomenal. Yeah, that's where it goes. It's the second best game so far, and I already know for a fact that these two games are not beating it. Neither is any of the ones that are out of rotation. Unless you count OG Rocket Sleeve, but then things might change. Oh, I forgot, this is Rocket Sleeve Rush. I'd still like that, probably. We'll make changes at the end. Next up, survival games. I really liked survival games. When I was testing, it was really fun to play. However, I imagine in the event it is probably not that fun. It depends. If you win, it is probably your favorite game, and if you lose, you probably want to die. So, I don't really know where to put it. I did say that I think BattleBox is better than SG, and I will stick by that. I imagine if I was playing, I would probably agree with putting it at B. Oh, right there. Actually, I'd probably like Grid Runners more. Yeah. I still really like SG. I just think it is way too risky. And then next up, and last but not least, to get to their side. I'm not gonna lie. To get to the side is similarly to Parkour Tag, a game that I often would forget about. I don't think it's that great. It is simply just carried by what is it? Terra Soup Force. Terra Soup Force carries to get to the side by a long shot for me. Do I think it is worse than Build Mart? No. But I also think it is pretty significantly worse than Parkour Tag. So it's going there. Alright, here's my first rendition of the MCC tier list. As you can see, no game is D tier, which means they're all good. Because C tier is like the lowest for me. Like let me see. This is like GOAT. This is passable. This would be bad. This would be pretty fun. Very fun. And then greatest of all time. Alright. Let's see. Any changes I want to make? I think C tier is good as is. I think B tier is good as is. I think the main changes are, do I bump Hole in the Wall to S tier? I feel like Sense of Time kind of should be S tier, but I don't really know if I agree. I also might bump Rocket Sleeve down a little bit because I forgot it's Rush and not the old one. And I like the old one a lot. I'm not too sure if I would like Rush as much because I feel like it is way easier to actually die in that. Also, I haven't played this. Like, if you take Sky Battle out of S tier, these are two games I have never played. So, I don't know if I would actually like it that much. I'm gonna say Hole in the Wall is S tier for me. I'm gonna bump Sky Battle one up. This is just hard from a viewer perspective. SOT is like here, but from a player perspective, SOT is like probably here. So I think here is good. I think having it top of A tier is a good balance. Parkour Tag, yeah, that makes sense. Ace Rays, Battle Box. Do I like Battle Box more than Ace Rays? Maybe. I don't really know. I do think the separation between the tiers makes sense, though. Like, Battle Box, Grid Runners is definitely a significant gap. Parkour Tag, to get to a side, is a pretty significant gap. SOT overall, compared to Hole in the Wall, is a pretty big gap for me. Sorry. So yeah, this makes sense. That might be it, honestly. As you can see, Build Mart is at the bottom. I will probably make a video about that for me very soon, for you tomorrow. So yeah. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if you think my takes are horrible, or if you agree, or just let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.